Security Halt podcast. Simple podcast for dudes, by dudes, but not for by dudes. Just especially veterans. Security Halt. You take a knee, face out, sit down for a little bit, and chill out. Listen to us, Cab, Paul, and Greg, say some really stupid shit. That'll make you laugh and smile. Security Halt. It's what your doctor ordered, or gynecologist, or perhaps the doctor that looks at your beehole.
One rule, it's mimosas by 11. Going one rule, mimosas by 11.
That's the single greatest thing you've ever said, and I would even say it's the brave.
Like, this is probably gonna be some horseshit propaganda for China. The news is like, hey, for some reason people think this is horseshit propaganda for China.
It's a valid point, Paul, but where else are people gonna get riveting content and a consistent list of kill, marry, and fuck? I mean, no one's doing it, and someone has to provide it for the people. And that someone is us, Security Halt Podcast. Can we just start the show? Because I've got a major case of diarrhea. What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the Security Halt Podcast, titled Lessons from a Kentucky Colonel. On this episode, we are joined by one of our greatest friends, Colonel Horatio Faulkner Gaydog. No, that's not his real name, but that's the name that we're going with, and I'm sticking to it. We're going to hear all about his life, his time in 82nd, and of course, he's going to regale us with many tales from our time together. And as well as dick jokes, cum jokes, and discussing other high-caliber topics, such as dick predator and dealing with the loss of a friend. But don't just take my word for it. Sit back, put on your headphones, press play, and enjoy Lessons from a Kentucky Colonel. Yes. I said fuck it. I have Craig recording now, so feel free to throw out any crazy shenanigans. Greg always likes to start out with his mantra. Boners, boners, boners.
Greg always was a fan of boners, wasn't he?
Very good at handling boners.
He actually got that tattooed on the back of his neck in Latin.
Oh, boner eye, huh?
Yeah, and it also looks like there's a dagger going down my spine, but if you look close enough, it's actually 1,500 small boners.
Boner in veritas.
Do you care to make it 1,501?
Semper
Well,
the
funny
boner.
thing, because every time I touch a new boner, I get a new boner tattooed on me.
Holy shit. This has the makings of a new DC villain.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I just started taking record of this, 2 weeks ago? So
Perfect.
I could already be covered, but I just
We already have the makings of an origin movie after the initial release then.
He's kind of like a boner Yakuza boss.
You also keep it as a war trophy.
I hang him up like those stupid little fucking ball lights that you have on your deck patio. I also do put lights in them.
Or, hear me out, brand new rebooting of the Predator franchise. He only takes dicks. Do it! I'm here!
Imagine he's got like a little ivory cock knife as he's ripping the fucking shit away from their bodies. But instead of a scream, he makes a sucking noise. Just.
And then when they finally reveal his face, he takes the mask off. Boom! Shocker! His face is a dick.
I was actually thinking it could just be a butthole.
Even more of a twist. Are you M. Night Shyamalan? Are you M. Night Shyamalan me?
The twist.
I just feel like you just gave me a classic twist. I think Netflix would buy this.
Get me closer, and I'll give you a real twist.
Oh,
God.
Why does everybody taking a dick sound like Wato from fucking episode 1?
Because would you enjoy it if they sound like Jar Jar?
No, they won't.
Wato or gay porn? You tell us.
Oh, we got Paul Beard Boy Strobel. Oh man, you just missed out on some of the best ad libbing.
Pretty much just another Sunday, actually.
Just a typical Sunday with the gang.
Talking about taking as many dicks as we can. No
I
big
foresee
deal.
us 4 years in the
What's
future.
new?
4 years tops. We're going to be sitting in front of a board. Like, all right, gentlemen, why does iHeartMedia need to buy your podcast? I'm like, look, we're here to save veterans. One dick joke with cum at a time. Sold. You got me.
Oh, man.
And we have our
Ladies
next
and
meeting with
gentlemen.
Spotify in 30 minutes. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you
we
for
into our dicks. We must go.
Second, man, I just taught y'all how to make some gay jokes, and we laughed calling me a colonel. I had no problem.
Actually, legally changed my name to that, so you're good to go.
Yes.
Yes. And now the state versus Colonel Gaydog. Your Honor, if you didn't want me to urinate on that park, why did you put it there next to the bar? Oh man, God. So yeah, current events.
Paul, are you there?
I am, man. I'm yucking
Yes.
out listening. Sorry.
Nice, Paul. You're sounding perfect today. You're sounding crisp.
Outstanding.
Got some other things you can yuck up as well.
That's a sexual joke. I believe
Yeah.
that's Greg referring to.
I was going with like a goofy thing. Huh, yuck.
Oh.
That kind of thing, you know? Up my
Oh
butt.
yeah.
I totally read that wrong.
Goofy doesn't make love. He yucks.
Hee.
Yuck.
Oh my god, a rapey goofy sounds horrible.
Oh, I'll do it again.
Okay, next movie. Denzel
Come here,
Washington.
Maxie. Yuck.
Denzel Washington reprises his role as the Equalizer, has to go down to Mexico to hunt down a notorious narco boss. El Goofy. Yuck. My gustos niñas, see?
But he's blind and carrying a Bible the whole time.
Yes.
The Equalizer is now blind.
Glad.
So we get
Right.
the Book of Eli meets the Equalizer. I like this. All right, cool.
Find out what happened after he gave that chick that Braille book. Really bad movie. I never enjoyed that one. Yeah.
Can we actually make the whole time frame 4000 BC?
Or hear me out.
Can that be the twist?
Roaring 20s. I feel like the 1920s
Roaring 20s
does
would be
not
amazing.
have enough action movies.
Doing the Charleston, that'd be awesome.
That's actually how he kills people.
Maybe throw in some really bad, drug and violence. Did they do heroin back then? I think they did.
I'm sure they had heroin back then.
They do now.
Yeah.
It's
I'd
our
like
world.
that.
We write it how we want.
I mean, it was opium. They just smoked it.
Yeah.
You know?
Same bit, same stuff, same, a little different.
Maybe he's the one that discovers if I kind of heat this up with some additional liquids and then inject it right into my dick, I feel great.
You know, until now, I never thought that I would be interested in it, but you just made it sound so good.
I never thought I'd like heroin so much, but all right.
I'm in.
Let's legalize it.
Bring big to it, and you're all for it.
You just made heroin sound good to me.
Which brings me to my next point. If we all move to Oregon, apparently we can just do whatever the fuck we want now.
All drugs
like
are
it 'cause
legal.
it sounds like Oregon.
It's like somebody was writing a movie for The Purge and said, you know what, fuck it, just make drugs illegal, just every day. Fuck yeah. Oh.
Yeah, we can break off and form our own country there, and it's apparently legal. So,
I think
then.
you just saw so much radicalization and kind of drifting away from the polar direction it had been going, and they're like, "Man, how are we going to get this ground back? Just legalize all drugs." Like, yeah. I morally and ethically oppose this. We'll have some free heroin. I'm okay with it now. I'm gonna shoot smack in both my eyes. Like,
that would be amazing.
Oh God!
Just explaining to all your friends and family how you ruined your life. Well, it just seemed like a good idea. It really did.
It's just a matter of perspective.
it wouldn't even be like that if you were in Oregon. If you were in Oregon not doing drugs, they would treat you like you ruined your life. Like, look, Mom and Dad, I'm abstaining from drug abuse and going to college. You pussy, come on, do some crack like everybody else.
We didn't raise a sober idiot. The fuck out of here. If you don't have a dick or a fucking needle in you in 2 seconds, you're fucking out of the house.
Come on, gang. Try
it's only your dick and your used needles. Yes, sir. Come and get them.
You know, that's something we have yet to see in modern media is equal representation of drug use amongst country people. I mean, sure, we know that people in Kentucky and West Virginia love opioids just as much as everybody else, but I'm talking about a country bumpkin that shoots up heroin. I want to see that movie. Just feel like that's something we need.
That has to be a thing somewhere.
It's out there.
You come to the Midwest.
It was probably Shia LaBeouf that starred in the role too.
It's more drug of choice. I think meth is huge here. You know, that's the hard drug of choice, and usually the country bumpkins are the smart ones not doing it and selling it.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like little science labs in their trailers till they blow up.
Oh man, maybe that's what we need to see. We need to see a Breaking Bad country version.
What would you call it?
Buck teeth, meth chicks. Yeah, that's what we
Breaking
need.
Bad.
Yeah. Let's get A&E on this. Greg, put your contacts. Let's pitch them a recycled idea.
Equal representation of women in these types of roles, so we're definitely gonna have to go with the O Network.
Ah, god damn it! See, that's why you're the guy with the answers. Oprah, we need your help.
Just a woman's not going to cut it. It's got to be a black trans woman.
Oh, I think I'm seeing this come together. So I think we look at it like Weeds meets Breaking Bad. So it's a Midwest like cheerleader, pageant chick that got pregnant, had a kid in high school.
Okay.
And she was going to go to college, and she was really smart. So instead, she flips it and she starts making meth because there's more money in that than trying to work at the diner getting treated like trash. Then she's selling drugs to like. Oh, heck yeah. Then she's like selling drugs to family members and people are ODing because it's that good. And you're just like, oh man, like how do I cut this so I don't kill my customer base, but at the same time keep selling?
Okay. Can we make it animated though? Can we make it animated?
Let's make her a talking rabbit.
I'm so dumb.
Identified today.
Or we make her androgynous, never refer to her as a her, and she has a baby, and you're just kind of like, is she a dude with a uterus? Or yeah, we can make this work.
Season 1 finale. She's got a dick.
Yeah, she kidnapped the baby.
Oh man, this has definitely made me feel better since finding out that the war in Afghanistan is not over and we might be going full-blown war in Syria.
I'm just a little sad. I want to get me some more again. Like, I'm like, come on. I want to kill some Afghans.
Everybody was like, he's going to come in office. He's going to end all wars. 38 days in office.
Build back better.
I mean,
gotta bomb it all first. Build back better.
Maybe he is Republican. He pulled us all because he's like, he's going to give us $50,000 student loan repayment forgiveness. That didn't happen. All right, a $2,000.
You have over $10,000. Go fuck yourself.
Best I can do is 10. That sucks, but we'll take 10. Best I can do is your tax return. Wait, what? Like
what? Best I can do is bomb Syria.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hey, your kids want your college.
Best I can do is 100,000 troops in Afghanistan tomorrow.
I just solved it. He's figuring out how to clear student loan debt. He's starting another war so they can all enlist.
Oh man. He's brilliant. This entire time we thought we were fighting the machine. No, this man he's on it. He's got my respect.
He's trying to kill off Trump voters because he knows his voters aren't signing up.
Heck yeah. Just to stir this cesspool conversation. It still hurts my brain to know all these American people are like, we don't like this Trump guy. He's just exactly like everybody we've ever had, even though he's never run in a party and he's not political. But let me get this guy that's been part of a party for 50 years, and he'll do it totally different.
Yeah,
no,
he's got the answers.
He didn't do it different. Like, are you guys really that high? Like,
I don't care how many times that man said grab him by the pussy or had to pay for non-consensual sex. I never saw him on the news sniffing a fucking kid.
And groping their chest, and everybody's trying to talk it away. My wife has a friend who was really like, no, I'm a substitute teacher. That's totally normal. I sniff kids all the time because I like their shampoo. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I'm a substitute. There's nothing wrong with sniffing kids. I'm like, who are you working for? Because I need to make some calls.
All right. The following kids coming to the board: Jimmy, Michelle, Tiffany, and Brittany Lynn. All right, Tiffany, Vidal Sassoon, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Give me somebody who's been using the good stuff.
Timmy's bald, but I can still sniff his hair. Like
on the White House,
the FBI rolls in.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, Paul, what have you been up to, man? Let's do the catch up, the rundown. What's new in your world?
Oh man, I've just been working a bunch. So we do like vehicle industry, and I guess China's not shipping a bunch of microchips that vehicles need to use. So a bunch of our fleets are going to disappear pretty quick here, and it's like, this sucks, but
shit,
it is what it is.
Yeah, China just trying to.
Maybe you guys should buy American.
Well, I guess this is the weird. These are the things you learn that you never need to know. But I'm on a call, and so most vehicles out there, whether they're like class 3 or like, large trucks, semis, or your own personal vehicle, they have some kind of Ellison transmission wiring harness. And the brain for that harness comes from a place in China. And basically in China, they're like, yeah, we're going to shut the plant down for the next 6 months. We won't open again until June.
Holy shit.
And everybody's like, that'll kill our industry. And they're like, oh, well, too bad you don't have them stockpiled because we do. Good luck. Jesus. So all these manufacturers are like, we're going to cancel all stock orders and just run off of whatever. And again, in my life, I'm like, I don't know how much that impacts me, but you're like, that sounds massive. Why the hell wouldn't we invest in our own technology to make the same damn? Well, yeah, like build the damn microchip here and figure it out. Like that doesn't seem that hard. Like why? This is stupid, man.
Our country feels like it's just a giant 16-year-old idiot. Just the decisions we make.
And it feels like everybody's happy with
Elon Musk, he'll start making them.
Yeah, no, I mean, and honestly, like, why wouldn't you do that? You
find joking, out there's but both kind of serious. Like,
there's a massive imbalance in the market. One guy makes the thing, and nobody else does, and he's like, I'm going to starve the market for the next 6 months. Why wouldn't you be like, 2 weeks, I'll have the damn prototype made, and we'll be selling it to everybody, and we'll just steal millions of dollars of business from that asshole. Like that's
just reverse
why wouldn't you do that?
Get cranking it out.
You're going to respect their copyright laws that they don't respect anybody else's? I mean, that's just stupid.
Exactly. I think Greg's on it. Every time I run into a stop or concrete fucking barrier in my life that I just can't get through, some sort of impediment, I'm just gonna fucking tweet Elon Musk.
We'll get you through it, bro.
It just fucking. I need him to be in charge of our country.
He's gonna get a text from Paul Strobel that says "fix ED," and he'll be like, "On it, man."
Oh, why didn't you say so? I already did.
You gotta go at Elon, Daddy Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to start a new trend.
Save us,
Simping
Papa.
for Elon.
Oh, that already happens, bro.
Oh, Greg, what's new with you, brother?
Well, I have increased the amount of German Shepherds I own, so that's fun. I have a small pack. It's great. I work nonstop, so I never get to see those German Shepherds. Yeah,
but that's good. I've heard that there's a theory out
Existence
there,
of
just like
pain.
children. If you just get a bunch of kids or dogs and you just abandon them emotionally, they turn out great.
Yeah,
it makes them stronger.
It didn't work for me, but people are saying it's great.
So, like,
leave the kids with
I didn't
the dogs.
quite abandon you.
Themselves.
I'm just not physically there. So
you can call it
my father
abandoning,
did for me, and I turned out great. Right?
It's either abandoning or it's giving you the opportunity to develop yourself and succeed as a human being. Like, that's all how you look at it.
Yeah. Just set up an iPad on the kitchen table and just dial in every other day and say what's up.
I'm not to that technological point, so I actually just put like a 4x6 picture of myself on the table at the house. And it's actually with my back turned while I'm doing something, so I'm still kind of just ignoring you.
But every now and then call in and say, "Hey, what do you got done?" And when he explains, just be like, "Oh, that's all? Okay." And just kind of disappointingly disengage and hang up.
Did you put my fucking tools back?
Yeah.
Fuck, put my fucking tools back.
Papa.
Are you a doctor yet? All right, bye. I'm 6. All right. Click.
Oh, not a good excuse, Junior. Not a good excuse.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
Well, and Colonel, I think it's time that
the big show.
We actually get to the meat, potatoes, and boner of this episode, which is the life and times of our very own Kentucky Colonel Gaydog.
All right.
So please.
Well,
I want to know. I want to know the beginning. Like, take us through episode 1.
Yeah, picture
a
it.
Phantom
July
Colonel.
31st, 1979. I was born.
Massive penis. That's good.
Can we go like 9 months prior to that?
Okay. So yeah, that's the intro shot. The intro shot is your dad on top of your mom.
I was an immaculate conception. You should know that by now.
Even better. Your mom on the bed just going.
Oh, Jesus.
And then fade to black. And then, boom, bright burst of light. You see the Colonel pushing, fighting through, finds an opening, and he comes out. He's full grown.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Damn it. Through drywall. Like, damn. What's up?
Colonel, you were. I love how everybody's just always been okay with calling you Colonel.
Oh man, I'm fine with the promotion. I really am.
Oh my God, it's just you joined.
We'll get to the origin story of that in a bit. But,
you joined later in life, right?
Yeah, I did. I went to college first, and I was in college when 9/11 happened, and that's when I was like, I gotta fucking go do this. But I'm gonna finish college first, so I did that. I graduated in 2003, and then I signed up. So I actually went in the Army in 2004. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I was like 7 weeks into basic, and I thought that I had broken my feet.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I went to sick call, and of course got called a piece of shit. But
as is tradition.
X-rays, bone scans, MRIs, and they found out that I had. You ever heard of plantar fasciitis or whatever?
Yes, I know that very well. I've had 2 surgeries because of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they diagnosed me with that. So I'm like, all right, what do we do? And like, they opened up like their big giant tome of Army regulations, pointed to it, and like, this is a disqualifying condition, so you got to leave. I was like, what the fuck? Are you serious? And they're like, well, you can come back in 6 months. So you can either sit here and trade doc for 6 months or go home and come back in 6 months. I'm like, that's a fucking no-brainer. I'm going home.
I'm staying in trade doc.
So they gave me that, I think it's called like EPTS or something. Sent me home. 6 months, I go to the recruiter and I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go back in. The guy's like, oh, sorry, you're disqualified. You can't come in. I'm like, what the hell? I was like, we can apply for I forget what they call it, something to allow me in, and that process took like 2 years, and I eventually had to call the inspector general and be like, look, these motherfuckers are blocking me from coming back in. The next day, the recruiter called me and was like, all right, you're good to go.
Holy shit!
That's when I finally got back
Power
in.
of the Colonel.
I'm glad it happened because then I met all you guys.
Dude, that's like Captain America origin stories. And now envision you with like these tiny baby feet, and you're like, God damn it, I just want to serve my country. Like, nah, you got baby feet, man. You can't serve.
Fucking Deadpool.
And it's some fucking. If you tell me you had a German doctor inject some super soldier serum into your feet, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Ich habe einen deutschen Doctor, ja.
Come here, Mr. Gaydog. Show me your papers. Good. Sit here.
Yeah, that's how I made it into the Army. Since the Army, I went to grad school when I got out, which did absolutely nothing for me.
Gotta love Dad.
I work for my local county government now doing bullshit. I got married to great girl. Most recently, I just had surgery 2 weeks ago, so I'm still on crutches.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you're vulnerable.
I can fuck people up with these crutches.
You like to fuck people with your crutches. I'm on my way.
Greg just now booked a flight to find you. You should never have let
I assumed this was going to happen, so I actually got the flight yesterday.
The whole premise of this whole podcast is just us reaching out to people we knew so that Greg can take care of his find 'em, fuck 'em list. And Colonel, you're the next target.
I'm just glad to be on the list, guys.
Just imagine
it's like Greg, a revenge story with love.
Just imagine Greg with a giant whiteboard with theories as to where everybody's living and pictures with crossed red X's on who he's fucked already. Surprise, surprise. Paul and I were already like number 1 on the list, so that's why we got in with this.
You guys are my
kind of penciled us in. Yeah.
If I can take these two, the rest of the world will be fucked.
This is happening.
And to keep traditions alive, I only cross the names off with red lipstick.
While he listens to Q Lazarus' Goodbye Horses.
Nice.
So Colonel, obviously that's one thing that we always sort of like looked up to you and always saw you as like a voice of reasoning, like an elder statesman within the company, because you were an older dude. You exactly.
That's terrifying that you guys looked up to me that way.
You had because you had this. You had this inner confidence where you were like, I'm an older dude. I know what the fuck I'm doing because I've actually experienced life. The rest of us were like, well, sounded good, so here we are.
So you guys mistook my grumpiness and being pissed off all the time for some kind of like stoic knowledge. That's awesome.
Or father figure, because most of us come from broken homes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I could provide that for you unwittingly.
He doesn't tell us hush when we talk during the news.
Oh God. Well,
it's so funny because I was like 28. You guys are acting like I was like 50-year-old wise man or something.
Bro, it's so funny because when you're in your early 20s, you think of somebody that's in their 30s as knowing what the fuck's going on. And I remember we had Mac, our old platoon sergeant. We're like, man, we looked up to you. We thought you had the whole world figured out. But then when we hit our 30s, we're like, I don't know shit.
Yeah, like, I mean, you guys have all reached 28, right? You know what the fuck's going on? Exactly.
Oh, man. Some of the greatest mistakes I've made in my life were I was 28 and 29. Yeah.
I mean, that's there were guys that genuinely to us looked old. They looked old. They were probably 34.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We're, oh, my God.
And we were like, God, this fucking old man will shut the fuck up.
Thompson was like 35 or 36, like, and people thought he was fucking like ready for a wheelchair. Even though he was like the buffest dude in the company.
Oh my God!
He just had like some salt and pepper on the side of his hair, and people was like, "There's old man Thompson."
Yeah, dude, I'm so glad you brought that up because I thought of him like as a fucking geriatric ancient human being.
But he wasn't. It's so
now
funny.
I'm 36 and I'm like, oh my fucking God. People just expect me to die tomorrow.
Speaking of Thompson brings me to wanting to clear up the Colonel Gaydog name origin because I think it was last episode.
Yes.
He gave credit to Maynard, which I love Maynard, but it wasn't him that came up with it.
Oh man, yeah, we have to see now. Now I feel like a politician. We have to go back. We have to set the record straight. I
actually want you to resign. Welcome to cancel culture, motherfucker. You're out.
Do you remember
Cancel chief.
Yeah, do you remember when you came to us, like met up with Biko when we were overseas? Didn't Thompson come with you? Was he part of that group?
No, Thompson came to us later.
All right, I think it was like maybe January or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but anyways, we knew we were getting a new guy. It was me and Buchan and Peterson. And me and Peterson were like, man, I hope we get some little 18-year-old shit that we can boss around to, because Buchan was always picking on us. So we come back from a range that night, and there's fucking Thompson sitting in our can. Like, oh, fuck, like, this guy could rip our arms off. This sucks. So, for some reason, I started calling him T-Dog. I have no idea why. Just because his last name started with T. I was like, hey, what's up, T-Dog? And, he had that fucking West Virginia accent. He's like, why the fuck do you keep calling me T-Dog? I'm just going to call you Gaydog. So he just started calling me Gaydog all the time. And then we would go to the gym. I don't know if you guys remember the gyms over there. You had to like sign in that green book with your.
Oh yeah, they used to give
name,
so much
unit.
shit about that.
Yeah, so we would go to the gym together, and one of us would get like towels and waters. The other person would sign the book. So I went to get towels and waters one day, and Thompson's over there fucking giggling like a little girl. He's like, check out the book, gangster. I go over there. It says Thompson, Sergeant, whatever, 2504. And underneath it says Gaydog, Colonel, 2504. Then he signed me into the gym. So from then on, he just called me Colonel Gaydog, and everybody else started also. It just stuck.
Oh, man.
That's where Colonel Gaydog came from. The sign-in book at the gym at Al-Assad.
And it's one of the things that it was a nickname that did not die down ever. And it became your identity. I have you till this day. I have you saved in my phone as Colonel Gaydog. When I tell stories, I don't say, "Hey, my friend." I say, "Yeah, dude, Colonel Gaydog." People are like, "Yeah, you're friends with the colonel," and I've done it so much. I've told civilians, other military friends these stories, and they're like, "Hold on, you were a E5 hanging out with a colonel doing this type of shit?" I'm like, "Yeah, you don't understand. It's Colonel Gaydog. It's completely different."
Well, you weren't lying because
Got a colonel.
I did get made an official Kentucky colonel on that trip to Fort Mitchell, Kentucky. I have the paperwork that says I am a certified Kentucky colonel, so it's true.
Oh my God! Tell us about that experience. God.
All of Fort Mitchell and its amazingness.
Dude, Fort Mitchell's amazing.
It was amazing, especially that first year that we went when we got back from that deployment, because it was only I think it was 7 of us that went.
Yeah.
And they treated us like fucking kings there. It was great. I mean, I don't think we paid for food or drinks the entire time we were there, and we had a lot of those. And
that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they had a ceremony at the end of it, and they made all of us, the governor sign these certificates saying that we were Kentucky colonels. But,
so what I envision is somehow in Kentucky there are some bylaws where you can get away with some heinous shit. There's probably 5 things you can get away with. I would envision that you can definitely have sex with a prostitute in a playground at around 5 or 6 p.m.
Anyway,
right? They're all right, wait a second.
I don't think you need anything special documentation to do that.
He's got a Kentucky Colonel license plate, boys. Just let him do his thing.
He's a colonel. Let him go.
I am required to wear that little tie that Colonel Sanders does, though, at all times.
You get pulled over and you're like, stand at attention, Sergeant.
I'm sorry, Colonel.
I say I was not speeding.
I say, salute me.
So when you go to KFC, do you get a free bucket of fucking extra crispy chicken?
I should look into that. I should get KFC for life.
Just slide them your paperwork.
Definitely let me know what you find out on that one, because I'm fucking in.
Get a laminated card. It's laminated. You have to accept it.
Oh my God.
Have a punch system where there's little shapes that they're supposed to punch out but don't supply the punch thing. So just be like, oh, I'm sorry, here, go ahead and knock this out for me. And they'll just be confused and just look at them expectantly to knock it out. Yeah. Punch my card, let me carry out.
Manager
so
comes
I
on.
looked into it, and I think the biggest things you get for being a Kentucky colonel is in some places, like government buildings, a parking spot and a license plate.
I mean, yeah,
that's what they give you.
The biggest thing you get for being Kentucky colonel is incest.
But they give it to you in a punch card, so you can only fuck your sister or cousin a maximum of 10 times. Colonel Gaydog, let me see your punch card. Uh-huh.
I think it's funny that Kentucky.
I must have forgotten it.
I think it's funny that Kentucky colonel is the highest title of honor bestowed by the governor, even though there's ranks that are much higher than colonel. Should we stop at colonel or keep? Nobody's gonna get farther than that in Kentucky. Okay, see, maybe 5 or 10 of these every 100 years. Okay.
I think maybe General So outranks Colonel Sanders, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's just chicken.
We gotta look up the chicken bylaws as to who outranks who. Technically, he is a communist NVA.
Well, under this administration, General Sal outranks pretty much everybody. Hey man, Winnie the Pooh, our fearless fucking leader.
Whoa, man, we're so fucked. This will never take off if we try to get in the Chinese market.
Oh man.
Oh no. Let me go back.
Will not get us on.
Just because I love talking about it, but yeah, that whole Chinese version of Star Wars they're making over there, and focus is let's not embrace our differences. There's much more power in unity. Look at all these weird aliens. Get out of here. We all look the same, but that's better. Okay.
Destroy them.
What do we do with these Wookiees? Have them mine coltan for us. Oh yeah, sounds good. Lightsaber crystals. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Indenture them to serve the Republic.
Did you guys see that for the movie posters for over there? They cut Finn out.
Oh yeah.
You're no blacks.
No.
Speaking of Finn, did you hear about the Superman reboot?
Oh yeah, we can't touch that one on the podcast.
Oh no, I have not.
I have not either. Yep. We haven't.
Superman.
We also haven't made fun of Batwoman at all, but I think that's definitely a field we can harvest.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
How great of a show it is. It's just empowering and strong, and
Yeah. You couldn't pay me in blowjobs to see Batwoman or any of the other bullshit DC TV shows that they have right now. Supergirl, don't get 2 fucks. Stargirl,
So,
don't get 2 fucks.
All right. Time out.
You're in luck because I don't think Ruby Rose would pay you a blowjob. She would suck the carpet off your floor, but
well, she quit.
Titans is pretty badass though.
Oh, Titans, that's different. Yeah, I've watched that. It's different. I enjoy that. I'm just so tired
what about that new Brendan Fraser show?
Yeah. The what's his name?
Doom Patrol or whatever.
Doom Patrol. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, Doom Patrol's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
George of the Jungle.
Yeah, I mean, everybody deserves a second chance. I mean, Brendan Fraser, what do you expect? He can't stay in shape for the rest of his life. People are like, "Oh my god, have you seen him? He looks like a fucked up version of a monster that ate Brendan Fraser." I'm like, dude, ease up on the guy. Who the fuck wants to like?
I resemble that remark.
You look like a monster ate Brendan Fraser, then got hit by a truck.
You mean there's hope for me in Hollywood? Awesome, he's my champion. Brendan Fraser's my spirit animal. Him and Fat Thor. Yeah.
Dude, Fat Thor fucking kicked ass. He had a lot of people saying, "Oh, fuck it, maybe I do need to bulk up."
I think bulk's a fluid term.
Metabolize food and beer, though. I don't get it. Like, is that his kryptonite, food and beer? I don't understand that.
I think it was just depression, just solid mental health issues.
I have a feeling he'll lose all that once he gets the willpower to lose it. Like, it'll just be like a montage. He'll just walk from one side of the ship to the other, and then he's ripped again. And you're like, son of a bitch.
God damn it.
See, the trick was cardio. Like, son of a bitch. Like,
I just don't eat any solids. I drink all my meals. God damn it.
I just recycle diarrhea through my body. There's no nutrients in it at all. By the end, it's not toxic because there's nothing to filter out. Like, if we said that, people would try it. If we were like, yeah,
holy shit.
There'd be so many people like, I put diarrhea right in my eyes, and they'd be blind and be like, I can tell it's working. Once the blindness washes off, I'll be strong. Like, oh my gosh.
Let me go ahead and put an edit marker. Now. Warning, do not put diarrhea into your eyes or ingest diarrhea.
This is a joke. Don't do this, please.
Hey,
what if you do?
Diarrhea, though. Are you guys excited for the new Dune movie?
Oh, yes.
Oh, well,
my God.
It's got to be better than any of the crap that ever existed. I mean, like, Tremors was a better Dune movie than what we've gotten.
I watched the 1984 version like last week, and it's so fucking bad. God, bad.
I actually enjoy it. I enjoy the old version with Patrick Stewart.
I mean, it's funny for its campiness, but it's so bad.
Yeah, it's super campy. Quickly, protect yourself.
I miss driving around Iraq and typing worm sign in the fucking, what was that little computer called? Not Blue Force Tracker, but the other one.
MTS 2000.
Yeah, MTS. I'd be like, worm sign to the east. And Mackenzie would be like, shut up.
Oh, God. Colonel, tell me, how did it feel on that first trip for you? Because obviously you fought through hell to go in, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, here I go. And then it's just a bunch of 19, 18-year-old boners.
It was funny because when I was in Kuwait, like, we were all waiting to come up, and we're sitting there, like, on the flight line, ready to get on a chopper to come up, and some sergeant major was walking through, and he's like, where are you guys headed? We're like, we're going to Al-Assad, Sergeant Major, and he's like, oh, there's a lot of guys up there want to hurt you boys. A lot of you might not make it back. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of a pep talk is this? Like,
he didn't tell you it was your peers.
I show up and everyone's like, yeah, we just do convoy security and drive all day. Like, oh, well, whatever. So, I mean, it was kind of a letdown, but I mean, had fun.
The guys that wanted to hurt you were in the truck with you. That's what it fucking cherry. We'll put your dick on the asphalt. Like, why would I do that? Yeah, exactly. Hit yourself in the nuts. Why would I do that? Just do it. It'll be funny.
Do it.
This dumbass just hit himself in the nuts because I told him to. Like, I don't know. What the fuck?
I want you to drink that shot coffee, then shit in your helmet, then drink it.
Yeah.
What?
Then eat it. And then I'll tell everybody you're stupid for listening to me. Like, I know.
You take the last rip it, I'll fucking kill you.
That reminds me of Jordan doing can inspections and coming in and telling me and McClyman, do fucking push-ups. So we did push-ups. It's like, look at you dumb motherfuckers doing push-ups all scared. It's like, you told us to. Like, you're the first. Do you know how this works? Like, is this new to you? Like,
Oh, man.
Oh man. But yeah, what was your like time? Give us some of the key moments of your, because like that's one thing that it's always varying for everybody. You had some people that absolutely fucking hated it. We'll never be able to get them on to talk about it. And other people like us are just like, it was better than fucking college. Like, fuck being a fucking fraternity.
Way better than college. No, I mean, there's shitty times. Everybody knows that, but I don't know. I enjoyed being in the military a lot, and especially deployment. I'm glad I met up with the unit on deployment instead of in garrison, because garrison was the worst part of being in the Army for me.
Yeah,
you guys felt it.
It still is. No matter where you're at, garrison life sucks dick.
Thank you, Lord Mama, for starting another war.
I don't regret the second of it, really. I mean, there are times where I wish I was still back in, but only if I could stay like with that group the whole time.
Yeah, that's honestly the sentiment for a lot of people, especially when you stay in so long and you go through like the cycle, because it really is. It becomes this fucking like you get good friends and it cycles through, and then before you know it, like fuck, I don't know any of the assholes.
Yeah,
it's like there's people I would still rather have working with from those early years than some of the people I work with now.
I mean, I got a miniature taste of that on the second deployment when they ripped me out of second platoon, which I had been with for 3.5 years, and put me in first. But then I ended up loving first platoon also. So, I mean, you learn to adapt.
Yeah.
And so that was good. Man, I had friends in first platoon anyway, but still, it was a culture shock coming from second to first. But ended up really liking the squad and the guys, and it was great.
I know, getting old Colonel Gaydog in a platoon, that was a high note. Fucking awesome.
That was a low note for second platoon.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Second platoon fell to shit. I'm sure Greg can tell you.
Oh, yeah.
That deployment. I heard stories, but
well, dude, if you actually look at my friends from BCO, they're all first and third platoon.
Yeah.
I don't fucking talk to anybody from second platoon anymore because it was horrible. Dodd.
I didn't really know your
Sometimes I'll talk to Dodd
that well.
Yeah, whatever happened to Dodd?
He's like a fucking beautiful looking man in Houston, Texas. That's his job now.
Yeah,
dude, he got big. Bro, he got big. Like muscular and gorgeous.
But the guys that was your age, Greg, like coming up on that deployment, like I wasn't super close with many of them, so I couldn't really tell you about. The only one I was really into.
Man, I wasn't either. They were a bunch of fucking idiots.
I can't even remember half their names, to be honest with you. But
no, I don't either. I really don't.
Hey, Colonel, what do you think was by far the hardest part of your time in 82nd and walking away?
Leaving me behind in second platoon.
Besides that, obviously, that's all of our.
Definitely leaving everybody. It's bittersweet, like when you get your DD 214 stamped, which I guess you don't know about that yet. But when they
tell me stories.
And they're like, right, get the fuck out of here. Like, we don't give a shit about you anymore. It's a very weird feeling.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, leaving everybody was tough. As far as, like, the super tough moments, are we getting into serious stuff right now?
Of course.
Definitely the hardest thing was, the night that we lost Dayton. That was fucking hard as shit.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if you guys or if anybody knows. How many of you all were there? Were any of you all there that night?
No, I was in TQ when we heard about it, and of course I thought it was Maynard because that was my fucking my best little buddy, and we didn't hear shit for that entire night. So I was just like, fuck, who is it? Who fucking is it? What happened?
Oh, I didn't know you guys didn't know.
Yeah.
The whole time. Yeah, shit. Yeah, I mean, so I guess a brief rundown. Like, we were forward security that night, and or that mission. So we were ahead of the convoy, like, oh god, like 6 miles or something, checking out a bridge. And I was up in the gun, and I looked back, and I saw like this giant plume of black smoke. I said to like Lieutenant Webb and Dayton, I was like, "Hey you guys, like, look at that shit back there." So he got on the BFT or whatever the hell that thing was called, because we were out of radio communication, and they were like, "Oh, it had a wreck between one of the fuel tankers and a local national. Like, get back here, you guys have to full security." So we went back and we watched that fucking thing burn for like 9 hours. We were like shooting holes in it with the 50 cal, like taking goofy ass pictures of like us farting out flames. I mean, we had a good time. and it was still burning at like 9, 10 o'clock at night or something. So we had to set up like security down the road on the other side of it. So we're down there in the truck, and I'm up in the gun on the 50, like pointing out at cars that are sitting there waiting to get by, which is weird. And we get a call from Lieutenant Webb, and he's like, "Hey, 2-3 Alpha," which was Dayton. He's like, "Send somebody from your truck up with a camera to take pictures of this thing." So I was like, or he said, "Gaither, you're the new guy. Get the fuck out there." I was like, "All right, that's fine." Take out my camera. Batteries are dead. So I'm like, "Hey, my batteries are dead. My camera can't take yours." And he was like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And he looks at his and he's like, "Ah, fuck it. Just stay in the gun. I don't feel like getting up there. I'll go take the pictures." And that was the last time I ever talked to him. Because that thing ignited and killed him. So I've always thought ever since that night, like, fuck, like, did my dead batteries get this guy killed? Like, should it have been me up there? Like, what the fuck, would I have done it differently? Would I have only stayed up there long enough to take pictures and come back? Because I know he was up there talking and bullshitting with people, hanging out, which I might not have done because I was a new guy. So, yeah, it's kind of messed with me ever since. Like,
no, you can't. You can't live your life like that. I think all of us and anybody listening that served through this time period can easily find a moment in time where they're like, "Shit, would this have played? Did I make a decision that impact and may have cost somebody's life?" Was like, what if? And you can't live in that. You can't put yourself through that, because ultimately, brother, life it just works out. It just the shit that we were all part of and what we've done in our service, you can't you can't instant replay it, you can't rewind it, you can't live it. You just have to experience it and realize, like, fuck, that was a crazy moment, but it played out that way. I didn't have, it wasn't like you maliciously had this idea of like, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, I tell myself that all the time, but it's, it still lingers. But that's really like the biggest struggle I've had is that night.
Yeah,
I could replay that thing like it happened 2 days ago in my head. It's crazy, and it was, God, it's like 13 years ago now.
Yeah,
which is insane.
It's never gonna change. It's always gonna be with you. It's just a matter of how you're gonna carry it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a matter of trying to take that 50-pound bag of experience and emotions and regret and reducing it to maybe a 5-pound, travel size bag you can carry with you, and understanding that, yeah, dude, that was a good friend of all of us. Like, Dayton was fucking hilarious.
I only knew him for, I don't know, 4 months, but I mean, we lived in the same camp together. He got me into going to the gym because I never liked going to the gym, obviously. And he would take me there, and we would talk, we'd work out, and we fucking lived together, rode in the truck every mission together. So we got pretty close over 4 months. So it was a blow when we lost him, for sure.
Oh yeah, and I think the silver lining, and I know we never want to hear that when it has to do with the loss of a friend. Dayton was an NCO. He was a leader. And where we sort of forget a lot of times situations like that is it was his decision to keep you in your vehicle, keep you on the gun. Hey, I'm not going to let my guy go over there. I'm going to assume this risk. That's ultimately what we're all trained to do when we earn those stripes. When we become an NCO, it's like, okay, I can get my guy down there, but this is a little bit risky. I'm going to assume this risk. I'd rather me take that little bit of a risk and go out there. So ultimately, knowing that he completely understood and what he wanted to do and what he wanted to execute, like, yeah, it would have been different if you would have gone. Maybe you would have gone back. Maybe you wouldn't have stayed there. But at the end of the day, we have to understand and trust our brothers. Like, probably was like, all right, it's probably a safer bet to have my gunner stay up there, keep his eyes on.
Nobody thought that it was a dangerous situation.
Yeah,
you know, it wasn't supposed to be, and that's what makes it even more shitty. But
yeah, just have to be able to work through it and not carry any of that guilt. Because that shit sucks. That shit fucking sucks.
On the lighter side of Dayton, though, funny story about him. We were gearing up for one of those stupid convoy missions, and we're loading up the truck. You know, it's like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. whenever we left for him. And we always just, you know, how we'd always take our cooler full of muffins and all the other bullshit, and we always take like this bag full like magazines, like, you know, Maxim and guns and ammo and shit. So we're loading up the truck, and Dayton says to me, he's like, Gaither, did you pack the magazines? I was like, yeah, they're right here. He's like, I don't see them. Like, where are they? I'm like, they're right here, dude. It's like Maxim, guns and ammo. He's like, no, dumbass. I'm talking about the magazines that hold bullets for our fucking weapons. Like, oh, shit, I have no idea where those are. Sorry. I felt like such an idiot.
And Paul, you know him pretty well because you guys had gone through the Afghan trip together.
Yeah, man, and I had some wacky interactions with him. He wasn't there for the whole Afghan trip, and his platoon could probably speak better. But he got in there. I was at BCO before Afghanistan. I was there all through Afghanistan, and he showed up with a batch of new guys. And I'd have to ask who that was. I don't quite remember. I remember we were doing like a mail run. We were getting mail out of the talk, and First Sergeant McCready was there, and Dayton's dad had died, and you know, I'm telling this story, and I don't know how to. I mean, other people would probably do better for it, but I just remember it was the weirdest interaction, and people were loading up mail, and McCready's like, "Hey, stay here, Strobel," and I was like, "Oh, like okay," and I didn't know Dayton at all then, but I stood by or whatever, and he's like, "Hey, Dayton, I got to tell you, your dad kicked the bucket," and he was like, "Oh, okay," and he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "All right, like, yeah." So Dayton's kind of looking at him, and he's like, "What?" And it's like, "Your dad, he kicked the bucket." And Dayton's like, "I have no idea what that means."
What?
And McCready's like, "Yeah." And McCready's like, "Your dad's dead. He died." And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, your dad's dead." And I was like, "Why the hell am I here? Like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't know this guy. Like, am I supposed to be helping with this?"
Oh my God.
And then McCready's like, "We're gonna send you back for the funeral." And he's like, "All right, you can go, Strobel." And I'm like, "What the fuck, dude? I don't know this dude." It'd be like if I never
that news.
Yeah, it was so awkward and weird. And then when we were leaving, Nate was like, "I didn't know my dad, man, but I get a free trip home. See you guys." And we're like, he's like, "I just got here and I'm legit going home." I was like, "What the fuck?" It was just such a weird, surreal interaction, man. But for whatever reason, man, I kind of ran into Dayton a bunch like that. I think when he went to the E5 board, we were talking to him about sponsors and stuff, and he thought different, man. It was kind of cool how he ended up in different places and stuff.
Oh man, yeah, he
Remember
was.
sponsoring me, Paul. That was fun.
Yeah, man.
Hey man, your dad kicked the bucket. What? You know, your dad. He's.
Paul, I don't know if you remember this. We were at that parade field up by like the Airborne Museum one time, getting ready for some stupid ceremony, and Sergeant Major McCready came over to you, and he's like, "Hey, Strobel, how's your wife with that fucking head shit?" And you're like, you mean the brain tumor? yeah, that. How's all that going? You're like, she's okay, thanks. Like, God, who asked somebody how the head shit is going when it's a fucking brain tumor? Like, come on.
McCready was so much. I love that dude. But no, man, I love the Army was so screwed up for us. So my wife was in this terrible accident when she was in high school, almost lost her arm. She has very limited usage. And Mac was one too. He was talking to me once, and he's like, "Yeah, how's your wife doing?" I was like, "Good." He's like, "Well, she's got like a gimpy arm and a brain thing." And you're like, "What the
fuck?" Jesus Christ.
We suck so bad, but I'll tell you, man, it's pretty reciprocal because I remember Brandon Johnson. He had a kid, and his kid's still alive, but he had all these shitty health problems. Right after we got back, oh man, he was born early, stomach wasn't attached, he had a tail, he had all this shit. But the dude got like a month off work when we got back after the baby was born to kind of be at home. A baby was in ICU for a month. And after that month, they're like, "Hey, you need to come back." And he kind of made a big fight to stay and be able to go up there whenever he needed to for appointments and stuff. And everybody kind of really rallied behind that. But I knew Johnson, as specialists, we were around each other a lot. And the thing is so, he wouldn't be at work at all. He'd have to report because his son was in ICU, but he never went and saw his son. Maybe a handful of times, but at one point the nurse was actually calling like next of kin and contacts going, "Hey, are they coming back for this baby?" Because they weren't showing up at all. Like they weren't even there. They were just at the house partying the whole fucking time. So like shortly after that, I got Johnson as a soldier, and Mackenzie was in there, a bunch of people, and we put in for block leave. We're getting ready to go to Iraq, and Johnson was like, "Hey, yeah, I want to put in for my block leave." Nobody's talking to me about it. I'm like, "You don't get block leave, dude." And everybody's like, "Why?" And they're like, "You just had 30 days off for this baby. Like, we're not going to let you take vacation with everybody else." And he's like, "Don't you think that's kind of fucked up?" I'm like, "Shut up, dude. Your kid's going to die in a month and you'll have another month off." And I remember all the senior NCOs were like in the room with me like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, shut up and get out of here." So it wasn't like I learned anything from the shitty responses from anybody.
No, you're part of the problem, Paul.
Yeah, man. It was not a great moment, but I was like, "Dude, come on."
And this is why we're all so very, very fucked up.
Just to know,
that's why none of us have grown up in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's still alive and kicking. He's not dead. He never got that time off. It's all okay. But no, I love McCready, man. That was great. I will tell you too, man. When I first got to, because they moved me too, right from first platoon to second platoon. And I've told this before, but I got you guys' platoon, and I could not run for shit, man. I could never.
I was not good at it. Talking about that in an episode when you took us to fucking Cool.
We went to fucking Pike Field and we were running like shuttle runs, and Bucket was like so pissed at me, and he's like, "But it feels good coming to new platoon and breaking everybody off, so you feel better about yourself."
And I want to go on record about this though, because we went from Fredsty, who ran like he was towing a fucking wagon. And then I love the guy, but he couldn't run for shit. Being like a tall, thin, athletic guy, he couldn't run for shit. And then he got hurt in a jump, and Salcedo took over running PT. Another tall, thin, athletic guy who couldn't run for shit. Bucking was great at like bench presses and squats, but he couldn't run for shit. So none of us knew how to run. And then you come in there, and it was fucking hell. Trying to keep on running with you because none of us had done it for like a year and a half.
Like, you don't know how happy that makes me, because I couldn't run for shit. Like, I used to fall out of everything. And I remember when was it Rolf? We had Rolf on, and Rolf was like, "Oh man, I can't run." And everybody was like, "This Rolf guy can't run. You're going to love it." And I was like, "Oh, finally somebody I can outrun." And that dude fucking smoked me. I was like, "You sons of bitches." I was like a fucking turtle in first gear. And then I get into second platoon, and they're like, "Man, you're running us in the ground." And I'm like, "What?"
You broke us off bad because we hadn't ran in so long. We jogged for a year and a half.
I remember my favorite time was when Colonel Gaydog was getting out, and it wasn't showing. He didn't have to show for PT. So I would knock on his door and literally sham out and sleep on his floor.
Me, you, and Voss used to just go to my room, turn on the box fan, and just sleep all day. We'd be walking back down to like formation with those lines on our faces. Oh God.
Oh God. Oh, what would you say was like the absolute like timeline for you, like coming out? When did you feel like, okay, it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be? Because I know out of everybody we've talked to, everybody has the same thing. They struggle with that reset to civilian life. Like, how long did that take you?
I'll let you know when it's over, but no, it's super frustrating because I got out and I was doing grad school, so I was it was pretty easy, but I would hear people just like bitching about, I have to work this weekend, or I had to work a 9-hour day. And I was like, will you please shut the fuck up? Like, do you have any idea what other people do? Like, so just getting used to the whininess. I'm still adjusting to that because people bitch and whine all the time. But
yeah,
I don't know. It probably took, 2 or 3 years to like be completely domesticated again, which I am now, and I'm loving it.
Oh man, did you?
Yeah, I had a great support group though. Like my family.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, did you have a network or support group that you kind of got like brought into?
Yeah, I started dating my wife like when I was still down at Prague when we got back, and so I came home, and my family's great, her family's great, and everyone was there. So I had a lot of people to lean on, and it was good. So yeah, I got really lucky in that regard.
Yeah, that is fucking awesome. That's one thing that we've always tried to hit on, and that's part of the whole thing is you got to have some sort of network, reaching out to guys. Because as much as we struggle, there's always somebody that's doing worse, and we could always help each other out by whether it's the Discord app or friggin' getting on Grindr and hitting up Greg and our.
Yeah,
just hit it up slow when you start, man.
Well, I am featured on there.
Guys who had some struggles or whatever when they got out to contact me, and
hell yeah,
I tried my best to help, but one of them's kind of a lost cause, but that's how it goes.
Does he sell real estate and drive cows around?
Pretty much.
Is it is it Kumar? We need to connect with Wilson. We need to have him on because Jesus.
It was an interesting fellow right there.
Please tell me you have a contact info for him.
I do not.
Damn it.
Like, I was glad to get on the Discord the other night and talk to people that I hadn't talked to in a long time. But
yeah,
really the only people I think that I've kept in touch with you and McAllister and Milligan. So I'll say that a little bit. He's kind of fell off the last few years, but other than that, I haven't really talked to that many people.
Does anybody know where Sorensen is? I think he was an Indiana dude, and I have not seen him in forever.
Yeah,
we
kind of had a falling out, so I haven't talked to him in a while.
Gotcha.
We out processed from Bragg together, and I mean, fuck, I went my way, he went his way, and I really didn't fucking hear from him after that.
First name was Jacob, right? Jacob Sorensen?
Cody
Sorensen.
Cody?
Yeah. Didn't he have like I don't want to fucking misspeak, but like it was something like scoliosis or some shit like that? I think he actually got diagnosed with something, right?
He was out in someplace in Colorado. I forget which sport it was, but he was having this thing where like I think his hands would go numb or something.
Yeah, there you go.
And then he was outside.
Yeah, it was some shit like that.
Working on his fence at his house, and like something happened in his neck, and he had like a mini stroke.
Wow.
He's fine, right? Like he recovered from it, but they like medically retired him for all this problems. So.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a handful of guys I didn't necessarily know well. Like again, I didn't really get out of my platoon much until I got moved. But there's a bunch of guys from Indiana that were in Bico with us that I try and like, where's that guy at? And I think that's where he started from. I don't know if that's where he ended up, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's from Indiana. I think he married a girl who was from North Carolina, so he might still be around there. I'm not sure.
I can't picture him.
I can't.
Greg, you got any nudes of him you can post?
No, I just sent nudes. I wasn't selfish. I didn't require them.
He said it was a trade, but he never came through.
I said it was a trade just to convince him to accept mine without pressing any lawsuits.
Hey, can you check out these files I'm going to send you? Yeah, sure. What the hell?
Yeah, once he agreed to it, I was like, there we are. All right.
Just send me a thumbs up if you're down.
Eggplant emoji will do.
Yeah. All right, nothing. I'm just going to disappear. That's all right.
All right, full send.
For the dick predator, his favorite emoji is actually a peeled banana. Paul missed the whole dick predator thing, and I.
Oh yeah.
You gonna do a crossover between Dick Predator and Jizz Skater?
Oh my God! Boom.
I can't be both.
That no, you can in green screen CGI. You know, let's get James Cameron, whatever new technology he's using for the new Avatar movie, we can use, and we have a crossover.
Like Gemini Man, but cooler.
Oh shit! Holy shit! Boom! God, that movie was a pile of dog shit, wasn't it? Oh my God!
Sounds jizztastic.
Fucking, if you have not seen Gemini Man, just watch an episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then additionally watch a shitty action movie, and you'll have it. It's the same.
On that episode of Fresh Prince where Will's like crying into a mirror and yelling at himself, that'd be the one you want to watch.
That's the one. Oh God. Yes. God. You know, Colonel, here on the Security Halt podcast, we have a game that we like to play every episode.
I know it's coming.
Kill one, marry one, fuck one. And since
fuck Greg, marry Danny, and kill Paul.
I'm down. You gotta stare me in the eyes while you're choking me, though.
The only reason I'm killing Paul is because I know his dark ass sense of humor, and I don't trust him for a minute.
That's probably the safest thing. March.
Fuck yes, I'm marriage material. Take that.
Yeah. Is this fucking thing? Is it just like a one-time thing, or you know?
Yeah, I figured you were always a slender fella. You might be
Well, I got a little bit more cushion around the hips now. Now I'm a thick ass boy, so I feel like I'll draw you in for more.
Greg,
it's a stupid
Greg
question.
Now exclusively wears Gymshark leggings.
Yes.
Does nothing but squats. He's got what a lot of young kids would call cake.
He does squats, but he does it with very poor form.
Is he thick though?
He's thick.
I am about a quadruple C thick.
Oh.
He's doing the dirty bulk, but it has nothing to do with food.
Oh my God. Yeah.
All this darkness started with Colonel Gaydog in the beginning anyways. He was like the stepbrother I never had. And anytime I got stuck in something, he was just right behind there, ready to help me. Right by the hip, guide me.
All right, Paul, you're up. Kill one, marry one, fuck one, Security Halt podcast, and Gaither, go.
Oh, wait. So it's all us. I'm gonna say, marry Cab because he knows how to treat a man, and I think I'm gonna go for it with Gaither. Gaydog and I we'll scrub it out. Yeah, Greg's dead. Sorry, man. I'll remember you fondly. Or fondly. I don't know how you want to talk about it.
Can you fondle me while you're doing it at least?
I mean, that's the only way to politely do it. Wait.
I feel like I'm the one getting fucked, you know?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't say I couldn't do both at the same time. I think I'm good.
That's factual. How did we not in question?
Did we spread the Padme meme? Because that was a masterpiece.
That was a masterpiece. I saw that on Reddit, and I had myself a very good giggle.
I gotta see if I can post that for the Gaydog.
Yeah, I gotta send that. All right, Greg, you're up.
Sad piano sounds.
Well, Cab, you are marriage material.
Yeah. I'm not mad if you kill me because you're going the same way I did.
I'm trying to decide. So, Gaither, we're gonna fuck.
All right.
And I'm gonna pull a fucking reverse Uno on Paul, and I'm going to capture him in a fishing net in a kiddie pool and stab him to death with a fucking trident.
The only way to go. And scream, "Are you not entertained?"
All right. I'm fucking Colonel Gaydog because I've always wanted to fuck a colonel. Because you can't marry Colonel.
Right.
He's not even a supportive gay husband. I'm marrying Paul because he's a family man. He knows how to take care of a man and a woman and the kids. And I'm fucking Greg to death.
Yeah.
I'm lucky.
But not like you'd think. I'm keeping him alive, barely alive, for a few years. And then finally, after 50, 60 years, roughly about the time that we're both, just tired of it, then I'll kill him with a good fashion raping kill.
Well, we'll see how this turns out because I just found out Liam Nielsen is my dad. He'll come save me.
I have a particular set of skills.
I was actually thinking more of a Qui-Gon mode. He's just going to sit there fucking meditating for a few years before he finally comes and gets you.
Or he comes to my house and tries to Jedi mind trick me into getting you up for Republican credits. But I'm going to respond like this. No, they won't. Full circle.
Only money.
There it is. We started with Wato. He's a gay man. And we end with Wato as a gay man with Liam Neeson style. This is perfect. Finally, anything from our guest or the rest of the crew?
I just want to say thanks for having me on here. It was a good time. Great talking to you guys again. And I think you all should do this more often than you do.
Yeah. We're definitely
trying, man. We're trying.
Between my addiction to online foot porn, Greg's busy schedule on OnlyFans.
I produce a lot of foot porn.
Yeah, we're
describe it in a hushed voice.
And my budding career as a DM for children.
I do an OnlyFans, but it's an audio, and I read things in different voices, mostly an older gentleman with a Cockney accent. Hello there. Pleased to meet you. Want to see my nipples?
Put the peanut butter on my skin.
Told me about the podcast, man. That was the best time, just listening, getting caught up on all the episodes.
Oh yeah. We're definitely getting as much time as we can and as much interaction. We're trying to pull as many people as we can, and so and we'd love to have you back on again, Colonel, because there's so much more we can talk about, especially that one-handed lady from Fort Mitchell.
Jesus Christ!
Wow. The old tripod. Yeah.
She
Didn't
was the old
somebody
tripod.
have relations with?
That would be Han.
Wasn't it?
She might.
Yes.
She might not commit, but she'll try anything. Yeah.
We got to end on that note right there. That's the perfect way to go out.
If you or somebody that lives in the Fort Mitchell area know about a lady that has one hand and would like to get her on the show, please feel free to contact us at Security Halt Podcast at gmail.com.
Do you want a mediocre hand?